Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to take you through a significant moment in Indian history, the 1857 Indian Rebellion. The title of today's talk is the 1857 Indian Rebellion, a turning point in British rule. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore what sparked this uprising, its impact on Indian society, and how it ultimately changed the course of British governance in India. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at some of the causes that led to the rebellion. First, many sepoys faced poor conditions, which made their service difficult and uncomfortable. This dissatisfaction was compounded by the fact that they felt burdened by the peasants, who were already struggling under heavy taxes. These high taxes not only affected the peasants, but also created resentment among the sepoys, who saw how unfairly people were being treated. This anger grew, especially when new cartridges were introduced that were controversial. The rumors surrounding these cartridges suggested they might be greased with animal fat, which offended both Hindu and Muslim religious beliefs, especially considering the caste system and religious respect that was so deeply ingrained in Indian society. The concern about losing caste status was a serious issue for many sepoys, as disrespecting religious customs was seen as a direct attack on their identity. Another critical factor was the fear among Indian rulers of losing their power and influence. Many felt that the British were encroaching on their authority, undermining traditional structures. All these factors, poor conditions, economic hardship, religious disrespect, and fears of losing social and political status, fueled the unrest that eventually erupted into rebellion. Understanding these causes helps us see how complex and deeply rooted the tensions were, setting the stage for a major upheaval in Indian history. So, moving on to the next part of the story, we see how the unrest quickly spread among the native soldiers, or the sepoys, and the local population. They rose up swiftly, and this rising tension was a clear sign that something was brewing. The situation escalated rapidly, and in May 1857, the situation hit a boiling point when the sepoys in Meerut mutinied. This was a crucial moment because it marked the beginning of a larger revolt. The mutiny in Meerut served as a catalyst, inspiring others to join in. What's important to understand here is how these disturbances spread not just among the troops, but also among civilians, creating a widespread atmosphere of discontent. One of the immediate sparks for the revolt was rumors circulating about new cartridges that were rumored to be greased with cow and pig fat, offensive to both Hindus and Muslims. This rumor was the tipping point, igniting the rebellion that would soon challenge the authority of the British. So, in essence, this slide highlights how quickly the unrest escalated from rumors to a full-scale revolt, marking a pivotal moment in the larger struggle for independence. Let's look at how the rebellion against British rule in India began to take shape. One of the key factors was uniting various factions across the region. Different groups, with their own interests, came together with a common goal of resisting the British. This unity was crucial in giving the rebellion strength and momentum. A significant move was when leaders proclaimed Bahadur Shah Zafar as the emperor, symbolizing a call for national unity and leadership in the fight. This act was important because it helped rally people around a shared identity and purpose. Asserting control over the region was another vital step. The rebellion spread quickly, with sepoys, who were Indian soldiers in the British Army, marching to Delhi. Their movement was a powerful symbol of resistance and helped spread the rebellion further across northern India. Overall, these actions marked the beginning of a widespread and coordinated uprising, challenging British authority and inspiring hope for independence. This period was a turning point in India's struggle for freedom. On this slide, we see how the fight against British rule was a united effort, with various local rulers coming together to form a coalition. These leaders played a crucial role in resisting colonial dominance, showcasing their collective strength and determination. Among them, Nana Sahib emerges as a prominent figure in the uprising. He was a key leader who actively led resistance against the British, inspiring many with his courage and strategic thinking. Similarly, Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi stands out as a symbol of fierce resistance and patriotism. She fought valiantly to defend her land and her people, becoming an enduring icon of resistance. These key leaders exemplify how local rulers and prominent figures united to challenge British authority, reinforcing the overall theme of collective resistance and national pride during this pivotal period in history. Now, let's look at how the British responded to these uprisings. They utilized brutal tactics to end insurrections, which included a few key strategies. First, they reinforced troops to suppress rebellion, sending more soldiers to quash the uprisings quickly and decisively. This shows how they relied on military strength to maintain control. Next, they implemented harsh laws to control uprisings, making strict legal measures to discourage resistance and punish rebels severely. These tactics were part of a broader effort to restore order, but they also reflect the harsh realities of colonial rule. All of these responses tie into the overall theme of how the British prioritized stability through force, often at the expense of diplomacy or understanding the root causes of rebellion. It's a reminder of how heavy-handed measures can sometimes escalate conflicts rather than resolve them. Now, let's talk about the major reforms that were introduced to governance and society following the rebellion. These reforms were quite significant and marked a turning point in Indian history. One of the most important changes was that the British Crown assumed direct control of India, meaning that the governance shifted from the East India Company to the British government itself. This transfer of power was a crucial moment because it signaled a new level of authority and responsibility for overseeing India's affairs. With this shift, the company's control over India was dismantled completely. The era of company rule came to an end, and the British Crown took over the direct administration of the country. This change was driven by the desire to stabilize governance and prevent future revolts by having a more centralized and accountable authority. Now, let's consider the consequences of these changes. The rebellion served as a wake-up call for the British, highlighting the need for reforms in how they governed India. It led to a reorganization of administrative policies and a more direct form of control. Overall, these reforms aimed to create a more effective system of governance, but they also laid the groundwork for future developments in India's path toward independence. This entire shift reflected a broader theme of how colonial powers respond to resistance and adapt their strategies for maintaining control. Now, moving on to Slide 8, let's look at some of the innovative methods for revenue collection that were established during this period. These new techniques helped improve the efficiency and effectiveness of collecting taxes and revenues. Furthermore, it's important to note that promises were made to Indian rulers to ensure stability within the regions. These assurances were part of a broader strategy to maintain control and cooperation from local leaders. After the rebellion, there was a significant reorganization of both administrative and military structures. This reorganization was crucial to strengthening the system and preventing future unrest. Lastly, there were notable changes in policy that reflected the evolving needs of the empire and aimed at consolidating authority. All these points tie back to our overall theme of how the colonial administration adapted and responded to challenges, ensuring their control remained solid and effective. Now, let's look at the impact of the rebellion. One of the key points is that it challenged British authority at the time. This was a significant moment because it showed that local resistance could disrupt the existing power structures. It wasn't just about immediate conflict. It also helped shape future resistance movements, inspiring others to stand up against control. Another important aspect is that the rebellion fostered a temporary unity among diverse groups. Different communities and factions came together, united by a common cause, even if just for a short time. This sense of solidarity was crucial in challenging the status quo and demonstrated how shared goals can bring people together across differences. Finally, the rebellion highlighted widespread dissatisfaction against the company. People's frustrations with policies, treatment, and governance became more visible and vocal. This dissatisfaction played a vital role in shaping the overall impact, leading to increased awareness and eventually to calls for change. So, in essence, the rebellion was more than just an uprising. It was a catalyst that challenged authority, created temporary unity, and revealed the depth of dissatisfaction among the people. These elements all contributed to shaping the course of future resistance and reform. Today, I want to highlight how this movement stood firmly against colonialism, serving as a powerful symbol of resistance for many communities. It wasn't just about fighting an external power. It was about preserving and asserting our national identity in the face of oppression. This act of defiance helped raise awareness both locally and internationally, inspiring future independence movements around the world. By understanding this legacy, we can see how the rebellion set the stage for ongoing struggles for freedom and self-determination. Ultimately, its enduring impact reminds us of the importance of resilience and unity in the fight against colonial domination.